Good morning, everyone. We are the group 2 and we are here to report the Adlerian therapy. So to start with, let me discuss the background of the Adlerian therapy. So at first, Freud, Jung, and Adler are using psychodynamic approach to psychotherapy, but later on, Adler decided to take his own steps in the psychotherapy. So here are some of the ideas that Adlerian has. So first, we have the social, psychological, and teleological or goal-oriented view of human nature. People can only be understood as integrated and complete human beings. We are striving to go is more important than where we have come from, and we view human as creator and the creation of their own lives. And also, they say that we create ourselves rather than merely being shaped by our childhood experiences. So we also have these key concepts that is being used in the Adlerian therapy. So first, we have the view of human nature, which includes the past experiences as a child. So this is from 1 to 6 years old, the early events, and the continuing influence or the present. Adler is in an opposition with Freud ideas. So for him, the key concepts or view of human nature is social relatedness rather than sexual urges. Behavior is purposeful and goal-directed, and consciousness rather than unconsciousness. Rather than hereditary, Adler believes that history focuses on the feelings of inferiority. So we, as individual, we focuses on what we do not have, and the inferiority feeling drive us to strive more and becomes our motivation. So we have the Adlerian view, which is the choice and responsibility. We sort out the meaning of life, and we are striving for success, completion, and perfection. So Adlerian therapies attempts to view the world from the current client's frame of reference, which is described as phenomenological. So the subjective reality includes the convictions and conclusion, perception and thoughts, and the feelings, values, and beliefs of the clients. For Adlerian therapies, the unity and patterns of human personality includes the holistic concept, which is we cannot be understood in parts, but all aspects of ourselves must be understood in relationship. Second, behavior is purposeful and goal-oriented. That means that all humans has a purpose. Humans set goals for themselves and behavior becomes unified in the context of these goals. And striving for significance and superiority, the feelings of inferiority leads to striving for superiority. And last is the lifestyle, also called the style of life, which is the connecting themes and rules of interaction that unify all of our actions. So Adler is well known for his term Gemeinschaftsvoll, which is the social interest and community feeling. So it means that individuals' awareness of being part of the human community and the individual's attitude in the dealing with the social world. Also with the word social interest means which means the action line of one's community feeling, and it involves the individual's positive and attitude toward the other people in the world. And also establish a management framework from the inside. So Adlerian is also using the holistic approach, which is looking by the as a whole and not by parts. Which this concludes that we have the universal life task, which includes three. First is the social task, which is the task of building friendship, love and marriage task, which is the marital task in our lives, and the occupational task, which is the contributory task in our surroundings. So those three tasks are should be part of our main goal as a whole. Another concept that Adler contributes in observing what the client's needs is the birth order and siblings relationship. So in Adlerian, we do not view the clients as someone who is ill or mentally ill, but we view the clients as someone who is needing the encouragement to view the world in other perspective. So in the birth order, here are those five cases that Adler concludes. So first is the oldest child or eldest one, which receives a good deal of attention at first, but when the second child arrives, she believes that he will rob the love. So in the oldest child, when the second child arrives, that is the conflict begins. On the second child, the competitive struggle of opposite of the firstborn. So the struggle of competing between the attention from the first child and the second child arises. How about on the middle child? So on the middle child often feels squeezed out, unfairness of light, and feel cheated, and they will become a problem child. So most of the time, there are those what we call black sheep in the family is the middle child. So they are having those feelings because feeling squeezed out in the birth order that they have. And then the youngest child are the most pampered ones. So they have the feeling of being entitled as the youngest child in the family. And the last one is the only child, which having all of the attention of the family or having the center stage of all time. So the therapeutic process of learned therapy has three concepts. First is the forming relationship based on mutual respect. Second is the holistic psychological investigation or lifestyle assessment. And then the last is disclosing mistaken goals and faulty assumption. So on forming relationship based on mutual respect, are having collecting the past experiences or the early experiences of the individual. On the holistic psychological investigation or lifestyle assessment, they assess how the lifestyle of the present and past of the clients and the disclosing mistaken goals. Here, they are going to have the map or mapping of the lifestyle of the client. So they are dealing with the map by fostering social interest, helping clients overcome feelings of discouragement and inferiority, modifying clients' views and goals, changing faulty motivation, encouraging the individual to recognize equality among people, and helping people to become contributing members of the society. The therapist's main function and role is to assist clients in better understanding, challenging, and changing their life story, make comprehensive assessment of clients' functioning using the questionnaire family constellation, and the early recognition, recollections or stories of events that person says occurred before he was for clients experienced in therapy. So let's imagine that we have this client that is depressed middle-aged man who has basic mistakes. So he thinks that nobody would really care about him, and his role for living is he is basically unlovable. So he's mainly discouraged, and as a therapist, we should change those mindset by saying to him or making him believe that change is possible. And through the therapy, the client will discover that he has resources and options in dealing with life issues and lifetimes. So that will be all for my report, and thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Maylene Tipiscoso, and I will be discussing the second part of Adlerian therapy. Relationship between therapist and client in the Adlerian therapy is based on cooperation, mutual trust, respect, confidence, collaboration, and goal alignment. So what does it mean? So it means that this is characterized by two persons working equally towards specific agreed upon goals. So both therapist and client would have to have an agreement that they will both work on the problem together. Next is making a contract. So this is not a requirement of Adlerian therapy, but a contract can bring a tight focus on the therapy. So the contract includes what they want, how they plan to get where they are heading, what is preventing them from attaining their goals, how they can change non-productive behavior to a constructive one, how they can make full use of their assets in achieving their purposes. So again, making a contract will serve as a guiding line and also provides more focus on the therapy. Now we'll go to phase one of the Adlerian therapy, which is establish the relationship. So relationship is based on a sense of deep caring, involvement, and friendship. So in here, the client and also the therapist must establish friendship in order for the therapy to be successful. So it has to has this trust altogether so that the client will be able to open up to the therapist without preservation. Relationship with the client is the initial focus, not the problem. Okay. So in here, the therapist will not dive in directly yet or right away to the problem of the client, but instead, he needs to focus more on how they can establish this friendship and also this trust during this phase one of the therapy. Next, provide structure and assist clients to define personal goals. So the therapist should provide and also assist the clients on what is her goal in this therapy. Okay, so what are the things that the clients would like to achieve during this therapy session? Phase two is explore the individual's psychological dynamics. So first is the subjective interview. So in here, the client is the expert on his or her own life. So there is no specific questionnaires that will be given to the client. Instead, the therapist will be a listener who will be listening to the client, providing all of her experiences in life. Okay, and from there, the therapist will be able to gather all of the information that she needs for the assessment of the client's problem. Next is the objective interview. In the objective interview, there are sets of questionnaires that the therapist will be providing the client. So this may include how the problems in the client's life began, any precipitating events, a medical history including current and past medication, a social history, the reasons the client chose therapy at this time, the person's coping with life tasks, and lastly is the lifestyle assessment. So the most commonly used is the lifestyle assessment. Lifestyle assessment consists of first is the family constellation. So what is the family constellation? In here, the therapist will ask the relationship of the clients with his or her close family, specifically with the mother, father, and also the siblings. So what are the relationship and experiences that the clients has that might be that might contributed to the negative behavior that he is experiencing. Okay. Next is early recollection. In here, the therapist will ask questionnaires such as the therapy's early childhood experiences by the age or by the age of 10 years old. So the questionnaire might be centered on what are the experiences that might have a great impact on the client's life before he or she reaches 10 years of age. All right. And then the last is integration and summary. This helps to identify and examine some of the client's common fears. So all of the information that was gathered through the family constellation and early recollection in integration and summary, the therapist will be able to summarize all of the data gathered that causes the client's fears, and also negative behavior. Then phase three, encourage self-understanding and insight. Insight is an understanding of motivations that operates in a client's life. So in the insight, the client now understand the reasons that contributes to his life problems. So all of the information that the therapist and the clients gathered during phase two, in insight now, the clients already know what are the reasons and the motivations behind the negative behaviors and perception that he or she is experiencing. Next is disclosure and interpretation. This is concerned with creating awareness of one's direction in life goals, and purposes. So in here, the client is concerned with creating an awareness of his or her life. So what the clients would want to achieve in this therapy, right? And then last is the is phase four, reorientation and re-education. Clients are encouraged and challenged to develop the courage to take risk and make changes in their life. So in here, therapists have to encourage the clients to make the changes, to make the things that or the next steps on how the clients will change for the better. Okay? So phase four has the first step, which is the encouragement process. So in the encouragement process, by the word itself, the therapist will be encouraging the clients that she will be able to make changes in her life. Okay, she will be the client will be showing faith that clients can make positive change in her own life. This entails showing faith in people, expecting them to assume responsibility for their lives. And then second is change and the search for new possibilities. So the clients will be willing to set tasks for themselves in everyday life and do something specific about their problems. So in here, the center of the change would be relying on the client's willingness to make a change and do it by themselves. All right. And then next is making a difference. Making a difference may be manifested by a change in behavior or attitude or perception. The difference may be manifested by a change in behavior or attitude. So it means that in making a difference, this is the last stage wherein the therapies will be able to see that the changes took place, and also there is a change on the client's behavior and perception from having a negative behavior and negative perception. She is now progressively going towards to having a more positive behavior and perception.
Good morning, everyone. So this is the continuation of our presentation about Adlerian approach in counseling. Alfred Adler, a famous psychologist, had ideas about how people can help each other when they have problems. So according to him, therapists should try to make the world a better place, whereas he had placed a strong emphasis that therapists should not only help people with their personal issues, but also work on fixing bigger problems in society that can lead to people having problems in the first place. So Adler believed that individual psychology could be used in many different areas of life, so his approach can also be used and applied in different areas. Adler advocated training both teachers and parents in effective practices that foster the child's social interest and result in a sense of competence and self worth. Adler had a keen interest in applying his ideas to education, especially in finding ways to remedy faulty lifestyles of school children. He wanted to use his ideas to make education better because he believed that if teachers and parents could understand and use effective methods, then they could help kids develop good social skills and a strong sense of self worth. So the first one is application to education. Next is application to parent education. So Adlerian parent education stresses listening to children, helping children accept the consequences of their behavior, applying emotion coaching, holding family meetings, and using encouragement. So in parent education, parents learn how to figure out why their children behave in certain ways. So when figured out by the parents, then they may learn about the reasons, or parents can respond in a better way. Yeah, parents can now respond in a better way. In Because Adlerian principles suggest that parents can teach their children in a positive way instead of just punishing them when they do something wrong. So it's about, or it's like helping children learn from their mistakes and guiding them with love and understanding. Third one is application to couples counseling. So, Adlerian therapy with couples is designed to assess a couple's beliefs and behaviors while educating them in more effective ways of meeting their relational goals. Therapists aim to create solutions for problems, increase choices of couples, and help clients discover and use their individual and collective resources. So, in what way does Adlerian therapy can be helpful for couples? So, in this type of therapy, the therapist works with the couple to understand how they think and act in the relationship and help couples learn better ways to achieve their relationship goals. So, the goal is to help them find solutions to their problems, make better choices, and use their strengths as individuals and as a couple. So how does it work? What does a therapist do? So sometimes the therapist meets with the couple together, and other times they meet with each person individually. So instead of blaming one person in the relationship, the therapist looks at how both people's lifestyles and actions contribute to the relationship. So they help, or the therapist help the couple decide if they want to continue their relationship, or they want to stop or to end their relationship. Application to family counseling. So the therapeutic process seeks to increase awareness of the interaction of the individuals within the family system. So those who practice Adlerian family therapy strive to understand the goals, beliefs, and behaviors of each family member and the family as an entity in its own right. So in Adlerian family therapy, the focus is the focus is on the whole family and not just one person. So the therapist will pay attention to things like how the family interacts, the roles each family member plays, and the atmosphere or feelings in the family. Next is application to group counseling. So the rationale for Adlerian group counseling is based on the premise that our problems are mainly of a social nature. So the group provides the social context in which members can develop a sense of belonging, social connectedness, and community. So, Adlerian group counseling is based on the idea that many of our problems actually come from how we relate to others. Next is continuation for application to group counseling. So, Adlerian group counseling can be considered a brief approach to treatment. So one advantage of this short-term approach is that it shows clients that change can happen in a short time. So by specifying the number of sessions, everyone knows what to expect, and it motivates both the clients and the therapist to work efficiently. So the therapy helps clients stay focused on their personal goals, and they decide how to use their time wisely in the group. This one, Adlerian theory and multiculturalism. So some of Adler's ideas are still very relevant today, especially in the context of multiculturalism. So these include recognizing the number one importance of cultural background, focusing on overall health instead of just problems. So looking at life holistically, understanding people's core goals, allowing individuals to have freedom within societal limits, and emphasizing prevention and proactive approaches to problems. Next one is shortcomings from a diversity perspective. So, while offering many strengths in the Adlerian therapy approach, it does have certain limitations too. So one significant limitation is that it may not be suitable for clients from cultural backgrounds where there is less emphasis on delving into past childhood experiences, early memories, family dynamics, or dreams as a means of addressing present day challenges. So additionally, Adlerian therapy may be less effective with clients who do not understand the purpose of conducting a detailed lifestyle. So, parang for them, parang like for example, some clients may find it challenging to see the relevance of exploring the past experiences and family dynamics when they are seeking immediate solution to their present problems. So, for example, a client who is struggling with anxiety or relationship issues comes to therapy hoping to find strategies or solutions to cope with their current difficulties. Then they might wonder why the therapist is delving into their childhood experiences or family history, as it may not seem directly related to their present concerns. So this lack of understanding on the side of the client about the purpose of the lifestyle analysis can create resistance or frustration in the therapeutic process. Ayun. So, in summary or to sum up, while Adlerian therapy has its strengths, it may not align with the preferences and cultural beliefs of clients who prioritize the present and future over the past or who seek more immediate solutions to their current life challenges. So that is why for therapists, it is important that therapists, it is important for them that they should be aware of these potential limitations, and that is why they must also be prepared to adopt their methods to better serve clients from diverse cultural backgrounds. So, summary and evaluation. So, the Adlerian approach to therapy created by Alfred Adler is known for its versatility and adaptability. So, it's like a toolbox. So, Adlerian therapy is like a toolbox filled with various tools that therapists can use to help people with their problems. So, Adlerian therapy helps figure out their life goals and how their past experiences affect them today or affect their present life. So it's like helping them connect the dots between their past and their present. So Adlerian therapists also pay attention to people's dreams, helping them think about their future and what they want to achieve and what they want to achieve. So they don't just talk about problems, but they also help people see opportunities for positive change. So, contributions to the Adlerian approach. Adlerian therapy is well suited for brief, time limited therapy, which means it means that it can be effective in a relatively short period of time. So, he believed in the idea of time limited therapy, which means that therapy should have a specific and relatively short duration. So, this approach was based on the belief that clients could achieve meaningful change and growth in a limited number of sessions. And last slide, so limitations and criticisms of the Adlerian approach. So the Adlerian approach, while valuable, also has its limitations and criticisms. So Alfred Adler prioritize teaching and practical application of his ideas over or rather than developing a well structured theory, which sometimes makes his writing difficult to understand. And initially, some people found his ideas too simplistic or too simple and lacking in depth. In Adlerian therapy, it is more focused on teaching and practical application than writing down his ideas in a clear and organized way. So, secondly, some early critics thought Adler's ideas were too simple and not deep enough. Deep enough. So they believed that his approach, which emphasizes practical solutions and personal growth, was too basic. compared to other complex theories at the time. So it's important to know that Adlerian therapy has improved over time, and today's practitioners have made it more structured and so research its effectiveness. So while some people had concerns about it in the past, many still find it valuable and helpful for helping people lead better lives. And that ends my presentation. So thank you so much po.